What's up, dude? This is Victor here from Fit Mastery, and I'm gonna do a day in the life in someone who practices intermittent fasting. Now, my first meal, I'm breaking it with a Chipotle meal here. I love this meal. It's phenomenal. It's very tasty, and it's relatively healthy for a quicker meal that you can get. And I like it because you can track it. It's got all the nutrition facts right online, and I track it right in my FitnessPal. And it's relatively macro friendly, meaning the proteins, the fats, and the carbs, they all add up to about where I want them to be, okay? It's 4:15 in the afternoon. It's my first real meal. I started earlier with just a couple cups of coffee, and then around 3 o'clock I had one apple, one small little pink lady apple. And you know, I'm in a caloric deficit, and I have been all week, so that just goes to show you how long you can go pretty comfortably without food. And I wake up early. I woke up at like 6:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna chow down here, and I'll get back to you guys a little bit later with some later meals. Peace. I always get this with double chicken, sometimes triple chicken. And I also recommend ordering it online if you have an idea of when you want to go pick it up, because then you don't have to stand. I know where I'm in Michigan, and the lines at Chipotle are fucking ridiculous. Any time of the day, you're waiting in front of like 20 people. And it's not like they're exceptionally fast either. So I recommend ordering it online. Then you just go pick it up. You cut to the front of the line. You got your macro-friendly fast meal here. I go with the burrito bowl, double or triple chicken, white rice, because they're quote-unquote brown rice. It's not brown rice. It's white rice with the brown sauce on it. They call it brown rice, but it's not actual brown rice, so it's the same shit. There's nothing wrong with white rice. Okay, so I get that. I get the black bean, just personal taste preference. Any of the beans are fine. Mild salsa. I get the guacamole and cheese. The cheese is not as healthy, but it really makes the meal taste amazing. And at the end of the day, it's about like 900 calories, a little bit higher on fat. So the meal within itself is not a perfect macro meal for myself, but I'm easily able to balance it out with my later meals. So I highly recommend Chipotle. It's delicious, and the way you can track your calories is to use a free phone application called MyFitnessPal. So go on your smartphone, type in MyFitnessPal, and it's got an amazingly comprehensive database of food. So you can just type in your Chipotle meal, it's going to come up. It's a user-created system, so anytime someone creates a food, it gets uploaded, and then we all have access to it. And it's been around a while, so there's a shitload. You can type in almost any brand of anything, and it's there. And then, once you log it one time, it's stored in your own personal database. So if you go to eat it again, you just go through your little list, one little click, and you've uploaded an entire meal. I absolutely am just a giant fan of intermittent fasting, man. I've been a personal trainer for 10 years and really super into working out for most of my life. And I've tried everything you can imagine. I've even tried a 100% raw vegan diet for 1 full year. And nothing is comparable to it's superior to everything I've ever tried in all ways. I feel amazing while on a diet. That's rare. And I've done the whole 6 square little healthy bro meals before, and it does work. You can get cut up during it, but it sucks. It's time consuming. If you don't have your meal in that, if you eat like 6 little pansy ass little meals every day, if you go like 20 minutes beyond when it's like your time to eat, you get fucking irritable, and your body's so accustomed to little snacks all throughout the day, and it's just you feel like a slave. I push my meal forward because I like to. Feel great, fasted, feel very focused, very productive. And then when it's time to eat, I can eat big ass meal. Usually my first meals are way bigger than this, I'll just say. Usually they're in like to the 1,300 calorie range. Just I make a feast of stuff. I'll do a video when I eat like that as well. It's ridiculously effective, intermittent fasting. It works like magic. So it works, you feel great, you're not really a slave, there's a ton of flexibility. I don't even go by the whole, oh, my feeding window, I go to 3 o'clock, I gotta eat. No. I'll sometimes eat at 12, sometimes 1. Today it's 4:20. When I go out tonight, when I go out this weekend, with my wife, we're gonna go with some food and some drinks, some sushi. I just won't eat until we go out. And then I'll be able to like eat like a fucking king and not go over my calories. Typically, what I would do in that situation is I go out, eat whatever I want, and either right before or right after, I'll have a really large protein serving because it's kind of hard to get the amount of protein I want eating out unless I go and eat like a steak. And you know, sometimes I go out and get a steak and then I'll get like some tuna. What do you call it? The sashimi tuna or something. I'm drawing a blank. A little like cuts of like tuna fish. I can't think of the fucking name for some reason. But I'll get that, and I can kind of get close to it if I have a big ass steak. But typically, I'll either have like a massive egg, just a pure egg white omelet. I'll throw some like vegetables in there. Like I'll dump an entire carton in there. It'll be like, I don't know, like 50 grams of protein with pure eggs. Or I'll have a protein shake. I try not to eat protein shakes that much because they're just not as good for you. And I'll go out and do whatever the hell I want. And that usually includes like appetizers, big entree, whatever. Literally, I don't like go and get like a chicken salad. I'll go and get a greasy burger, like a steak, just a bunch of sushi, any other fun meal I'm in the mood for with protein. I don't just get a big fat bowl of pasta, though I could. I just don't feel like good when I have just a massive plate of pure carbohydrates. I gotta have the mix of the macros. I'll have some cocktails. And usually when we come home, we'll have some wine as well. And oftentimes dessert, and even lately, we've been finishing our dinner with an espresso martini we'll split, which I just love, man. That's like dessert in it of itself for me. And that's while cutting. That's while dieting, you know. I'm not like where I want to be, but I'm fairly lean. I'm about 176 pounds and cutting down to like 175-ish. I'm a little puffed right now, but I actually look a little bit more lean than you just saw. And again, it's like getting really lean is fucking a breeze. If you don't mind counting your getting used to counting your like your calories in your phone, which is so easy. There's no excuse not to. Ooh. When I was a personal trainer, getting my clients to do that was a nightmare. No! Really? To get like the body that you've really been desperately longing for your entire life, that you've been so far away from, you're not willing to log some numbers into your phone that's going to take you all of about 1 minute per day. That's all it takes. So if you guys want to get ripped, work out. Make sure you see improvements in your workout. Don't just go there and bullshit around. Make sure you're improving whatever you're doing. You can get ripped doing anything. I prefer primarily strength training. They'll build you attractive looking, functional, dense, awesome looking muscle. And then multiply your body, your goal weight times 11. Eat that amount of calories every day. And have your macros, which is your carbs, your fat, and your protein, about them like even. I'll do like 35% fat, 35% protein, 30% carbs, but as long as they're relatively like a third of each is fine. And then here's the kicker. When you stop losing weight, and you will, after a few weeks, months, you'll like, excuse me, hit a plateau. Don't go lower. Because most people do. And they find themselves, A, not losing any more weight, B, feeling like dog shit, and then C, they come to say fuck the whole dieting thing altogether, and they say, oh, it just doesn't work, it's bullshit. And I understand the frustration because the logic behind it is relatively sound and intuitive. If I'm not losing weight at this amount of calories, I will just go lower. But that's not how your body works. And that right there is why not everybody gets lean, because they can't accept that. What you gotta do is when you stop losing weight, come out of your diet. Eat at a maintenance level of calories for about, I don't know, a week. 4 or 5 days a week, and then go back into your deficit. Sure, you might have gained a pound or whatever, you know, you start carrying more water weight, you're eating more food, more carbs, and you retain a little more water. But once you go back into that diet, then you got a full solid month to 6 to maybe 7 weeks of where that deficit is losing for you. So you kind of go like down, stay down, stay down, and you're heading down. It takes patience. It takes being honest with yourself and how you feel. If you don't feel good, you're like having a poor performance in the gym, and catching every cold comes around, and you're not losing weight, then it's well beyond the time you should have come out of that diet. Okay? It doesn't have to be hard. This is easy. This is like, it's Thursday, and I've been in a deficit for, you know, the whole week, you know, Sunday till now, and I recently added in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Bikram yoga, and Muay Thai. Just for fun, not because you need that shit to get lean, because you don't. I do it because I enjoy it. It helps keep me mobile and moving and fluid and athletic and not just a freaking like blocky bodybuilding Goomba. But even with those things, I don't even add them as cardio. I'll hit my deficit. My point is, in theory, I should be like starving and like, oh, I've been in a deficit for almost a week. I'm doing cardio, and I feel great. I feel strong. I'm improving on all my lifts. I feel I'm in like good health. I'm eating this fun food. That's how a cutting experience should be. Okay, so little food for thought there. I'm gonna come back to you guys. I'm gonna hit up some jiu-jitsu later on, and anything I eat today, I'll show you. And then at the end of the day, I'll show you my calories, my macros. I'll show you where my body's at. Kind of show you how things are going for me and how well it works. Okay? The intermittent fasting is a fucking bomb. I don't let anyone tell you otherwise. A lot of fear mongers, morons out there. Oh, you gotta eat all the time to keep your metabolism right. That's not true. That's like, it's unexamined elementary diet dogma, if you look at it that way. Before I go, I'll tell you why. So, there's a theory that you have to eat to rev up your metabolism. In a sense, that's true. When you eat, your body will use energy to digest that food. That's called the thermic effect of food. Now, so people just automatically jump to the conclusion that the more they eat, the more they ramp up their metabolism. And yeah, that's true also, but here's the thing. If one person eats 2,000 calories in a day, whether they broke it up over 100 meals or ate one huge meal, your body is going to require the same amount of energy to digest that. So doing it more frequently is really irrelevant. It's about, at the end of the day, what was your thermic effect of food? And if you ate the same amount of calories, it doesn't matter. Because you really think it takes the same amount of energy to burn off a 200 calorie meal as it does a 2,000 calorie meal? No. That one big meal of 2,000 calories, we'll say, it takes your body a lot of energy to digest that shit. It's a fucking big meal. You can break it up if you want. Fine, go ahead. But there's zero benefit to doing, you know, practicing with so many, you know, personal trainers. I talk to personal trainers, oh, my clients, they eat 6 meals a day because they gotta get their metabolism going. Okay. I wish I could think of a funny analogy, dumb enough to parallel that, but I can't. But there's that. Peace, we'll be back. So I'm going on a walk with my lovely wife here. my 3 crazy children, and we're gonna shoot off a rocket.
Only 2 of
I only brought this up because walking while in the fasted state is actually a way to really maximize the effectiveness of intermittent fasting. And surprisingly, going for a walk actually takes away your hunger. So it makes it easier, and you're burning calories, extra calories. You're using up your glycogen, which is just stored up food energy in your liver. And when your body is absent of that glycogen, then you start using your own body fat as fuel. So it's just a really awesome way to enhance the effectiveness. So we're gonna shoot off this rocket now in the park by our house. There's my dogs, my beautiful wife, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Okay guys, here I'm gonna eat my next meal, which is just, again, it's an egg white omelet, about a cup of egg whites, a whole bunch of chopped up broccoli and onions, a teeny bit of cheese just for flavor, a whole grain bagel, and a half a tablespoon of real butter, real grass-fed butter on the bagel. Shh, don't. But I tried to shoot the video with the kids around. My youngest one doesn't understand yet to like buzz off sometimes or to kind of chill out. So I'm not gonna go through that again. So I'm about to play some chess with my daughter, eat my second meal, and we'll get back to you pretty soon with the final count of everything at the end of the day. All right, peace guys, see you soon. What's up guys? I'm finishing up my egg white omelet here. So it's just a cup of egg whites, just pure egg whites from a little carton you can buy, organic. About a cup of chopped up broccoli. I don't measure, I just chop up a whole bunch of broccoli and some white onion. I kind of just throw some 0-calorie cooking spray onto one of those non-stick pans, you know, warm up the veggies, throw in the egg whites, sprinkle it with just a teeny bit of cheese, just for flavor. It really makes the omelet not seem so boring. And then I had a whole grain bagel with about a half a tablespoon of butter. So I'm getting there. I only have a couple hundred calories left now, and it's only 5:40, so I ate this meal shortly after that Chipotle meal. Like I said, I normally eat a bigger meal to begin with, and I wanted just to make sure I had enough fuel. I'm going to my jiu-jitsu class in about an hour, not even an hour, and I felt hungry. Last night I went to a Muay Thai class, and I didn't have a big enough first meal. I felt like shitty the whole time. I felt like out of it. So that was that. See, nothing too fancy. All the meals were quick. That Chipotle was very quick. I also had a protein shake, just 1 scoop of protein in water, just to get my protein needs up. This is a day a little bit more of like on the dirty side. I don't eat like Chipotle or any kind of fast food every day, although you could. I tend to eat a little cleaner and healthier, not because you have to get lean, but just because it feels better. I like to stay in more of a zen-like positive state. And when I eat like unhealthy foods, it tends to take me out of it and make me feel a little agitated on the inside. And doing the intermittent fasting really puts you in touch with the potential of your state of awareness that you can embody. You can really have a real clear, connected, like spiritually connected state of consciousness. It feels really good. It's hard to describe really. But then when I eat Chipotle or shit like that, then it tends to kind of like distort that clarity I develop. But sometimes I don't give a shit. I like to enjoy the food. It's all about balance. You don't want to eat clean all the time. You don't want to eat like crap all the time. You know, it's really just about letting your life unfold and go with the flow. Today, the flow, I was kind of busy, had a lot going on. The kids were all, wanting to play and shoot off rockets and stuff. So I didn't have time to like sit there and make my like healthy salads and other go-to meals I tend to make. But I'll make other videos when I do just that. I'm also going to make videos that talk about, when I go out to eat, like when I go out at night, like on a weekend, how to get away with that and still be in a deficit, so you don't have to blow your diet when you want to go party. Okay? So that's that. Not much else to add. I'll see you guys soon for my last meal. Peace. Okay guys, usually with my first meal I take my supplements, and I don't really take any real supplements. What I mean by that is my vitamins basically. So I just take a good multivitamin. This is a raw one. I did the raw food diet for a while, and their whole premise basically was that before a food is cooked, when it's found in its natural state, such as like a fruit or a vegetable, it has within it inherent natural digestive enzymes that help kind of maximize the absorption of the nutrients. And when you cook something, you kind of destroy those enzymes, and therefore you don't absorb the same ratio of potential nutrients. And that, that rang true with me. I did some research on it, and also I felt it. When I was doing that raw vegan diet, no, I was not very strong or anything, but I felt a really healthy and amazing for quite a while until it started to decline, which it eventually did. But again, for that reason, I try to take little bits and pieces of it, of things I learned, even though the whole thing, I'm not doing it. There were aspects of it, including, primarily eating raw fruits and vegetables being very good for you. And also, when you can, get the raw version of your supplements. Got my multi, just one pill, nice and easy. I take fish oil. Fish oil are awesome for a whole bunch of reasons. I take about 3 to 6 1 gram tablets per day. It's a little bit more than the bottle recommends, but if you look at the studies that talk about fish oil pills and their benefits, they tend to be with groups that took more than like what's recommended here. Vitamin C I take year round just to like not get sick, especially right now. It's Michigan, it's January, and there's colds going around, and I just like to make sure I have all my angles covered. Plus it just helps with stress and whatnot in the body. Vitamin D, we don't get very much sun here in Michigan. Moving to California next summer though, thank God. But anyway, I take my vitamin D because you obviously aren't really getting any natural vitamin D from the sun. And I threw these in here because I take them, they're pretty fun. This alpha brain from the company On It. It's a nootropic, which is kind of like a cognitive ability enhancer. It makes you think better, faster, sharper. You just can string sentences together more smoothly and cleanly. And I don't take them every day. It's just basically a bunch of B vitamins and some other stuff. I'm not really aware of what they do, but I really do notice the effects. It's pretty neat. Nootropics are a relatively new subject for me, but having, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan, and he always talks about his alpha brain. And I tried it, and I was like, no shit. I felt more mentally sharp, go figure. So if I have a lot of anything to do with like creativity or like something like that that I know I'm going to be doing that day, I'll take them just for, it's fun. I recommend you give it a try. It's pretty cool. There's different, everyone's affected differently, but I'm very sensitive to anything that enters my body. I've been that my whole life, like alcohol, caffeine, like when I used to do drugs. I always needed much smaller doses than most people. I'm just very sensitive. Even like foods that don't resonate with my body, I feel it on a very obvious and tangible physical level. So that's my supplements I take. I take other stuff sometimes too. I don't take like this massive list of supplements all throughout the year because I find that to be pointless and overly expensive and unnecessary. But I will cycle through probiotics. Digestive enzymes are real good to take, especially when you're fasting and eating big ass first meals. Taking a few digestive enzymes, I think it's a good idea. I notice the difference. I guess that's about it, man. I have in the past taken like chlorella, spirulina, those like green algae type supplements, just for they're like a straight up hardcore, very nutritionally dense superfood. So I'll take those once in a while if I feel the need. I went through a phase where I tried to clear out my pineal gland, and those kind of green supplement type stuff, like the chlorella, the spirulina, shilajit, that sort of stuff is awesome for clearing out your pineal gland, which is just your, it's like the seat of the soul. It's a chakra point, a vortice point of energy where you can become kind of connected to your intuitive faculties on a higher degree. And there's a lot of different characteristics of this particular chakra. We have 7. This is the 6th one. That's why it's called the third eye. It's kind of euphemistically referred to in a lot of the ancient traditions. And there's something to it, man. If you don't believe me, look up third eye meditation, and maybe I'll make a video about that, and then do it, and you'll see. That's how I got into it. There's a band I really like, Tool, and they have a song called Third Eye, and it's all about prying open your third eye. And that got me into researching it. And then as I come to find out that most people's third eye is like closed shut from all the bullshit and all the toxins that we take in on a daily, normal, societal, it's like with stuff that's very accepted by society, like tap water and whatnot. Anyway, I'm getting some drainage here. I don't know if you can tell. But that's about it, guys. I'm just kind of rambling now. So I have a few hundred calories left, maybe like 200 calories left, I think. I'll come talk to you guys when I get back from my jiu-jitsu class. I gotta go. I'm a black belt, by the way. No, just kidding. I just started. I'm a white belt. But I plan to be a black belt in about 10 years from now. It's a very hard thing to move up in. The place I go to is a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and they don't fuck around there. It's not like, they're not just trying to sell belts and membership. It's a legit place. Like the white belts there are fucking solid. They're good. And I've been to quite a few gyms. So it's really a blessing to be there. It's fun to be back. I did it a while back, a couple years ago for about 6 months. And it's just awesome, man. Anyway, I'll come back, guys. I'm just rambling again. Peace. What's up, guys? Last meal, and I am spent. I just got back from an hour and a half of rolling around with big, sweaty, strong, beastly men. Jiu-jitsu is what I was doing. And I'm freaking beat. So this video is going to be short. I don't have many calories left. I'm just going to have a little orange here, which is actually technically a halo, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. It's a small ass little orange that's very sweet and delicious and perfect. A little boost of sugar and vitamin C and carbs after my grueling workout. And what I often do when I have a little bit of fat left is I'll just take a tablespoon of usually peanut butter. This is almond butter. Almond butter is a bit healthier, some would say. And again, it's the raw almond butter. So when in doubt, when able to, go with the raw version. And I will sprinkle some cacao nibs, which cacao is just chocolate in its purest form. It's like the essence of any chocolate bar before it's manufactured and processed and all that kind of stuff. So chocolate or cacao inherently is actually considered a superfood. It's one of the most antioxidant rich foods on the whole planet. It's phenomenal. However, when you buy a chocolate bar, many people think, oh, chocolate's good for you. Well, when it's processed, all that good stuff is destroyed. So really what you're getting is a bunch of sugar and fat when you just eat a Hershey's chocolate bar. However, this is the bomb. In fact, let's go over it. So just an ounce is 4 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs, but 6 grams of fiber. So that's only 2 net carbs. 14 grams of fat, 9 of which are saturated. And it's got a bunch of zinc, copper, magnesium, you know, those kind of like trace elements are sometimes hard to find in certain foods. So it's tasty. It's like it's like eating like you ever have like a chocolate peanut butter like milkshake or like chocolate and peanut butter, like a Reese's. It's like resembles that to an extent. It's peanut butter and chocolate. It tastes delicious. And it's macro friendly. Combined with this little orange is a perfect cap off to my day. I just want to point out, I don't do jiu-jitsu for cardio. If anything, doing stuff like really hard, intense workouts like jiu-jitsu, I do Muay Thai, and even Bikram yoga. I do those because I like doing them, because I think it's important to do things that are mentally and emotionally challenging. It also keeps your body very fluid and athletic and not so rigid, which is a very common thing that happens when you only weightlift. You become very mechanical and blocky, and like your chi energy gets kind of like trapped. And you know, I would even, because for like 6 months I was only weightlifting weights, and I started to get like weird little pains and injuries. And now that I've been like doing my martial arts again, I feel awesome. I'm not all that great, but it doesn't matter. I'm better than any average person, I'll tell you that. I'll whoop anybody's ass who doesn't know how to fight. And I get the benefit of training with people who are a lot better than me. And again, it's very humbling. I recommend anybody who is like a weightlifter or a fitness guy to do something like that. That's gonna really humble you, because I go in there and I'm the strongest person in there by far. Even compared to like the bigger people, like people probably like 230, 40 pounds. And I bet I would guarantee that I have stronger lifts than them. And I'm certainly the most pound for pound athletic person in that place. And yet I'm one of the worst guys there. I train at a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and there's some real high-level people there. And there's people who are a lot older, like out of shape. There's these young kids, and both categories of people. There's people that they just maul me. They destroy me. My strength, my power, how much I can deadlift, and how high I can box jump. That means almost nothing in a class like that, in a jiu-jitsu class or a Muay Thai class. And it's good. It keeps me grounded and humble and athletic. And again, so the whole point of me telling you that was, I don't do that to lose weight, to stay lean. Those things, if anything, interfere with looking and having good aesthetics, because it's unpredictable how many calories you're really burning with that. It's also very grueling and intense on your body, and there's very little benefit of like changing the way your body looks. If you wanted to just look good strictly, focus on lifting weights and eating clean. Get your caloric deficit from your diet, because that doesn't tax your system like lots of cardio and stuff. And you can put all your energy into the exercises like working out, like lifting weights. That's going to actually change the shape of your physiology, make you look better. So that's it, guys. So this was one of my like less clean days. I eat healthy because I want to not feel like shit. I want to maintain my state of spiritual connection, and I want to feel good and grounded. But you can get lean while eating a pretty shitty quality diet, as long as your numbers are correct. So I hope you guys enjoyed this day of intermittent fasting. I plan to make others just so you can see the variety. This is just one day. It was kind of a busy day for me, and even making these videos is quite time consuming, believe it or not. But that's it, guys. I won't ramble on very long. This will probably end up being quite a long video. If you enjoyed this, please share it, like it, subscribe. This channel is going to talk about all sorts of fun stuff. It's going to talk about working out, self-empowerment, learning how to become financially abundant, doing what you really love, following your passion, developing awesome, pure relationships, developing self-confidence, and just becoming the best, strongest, most badass version of yourself, so you can navigate this physical world that we find ourselves in like a fucking champion. Okay? So intermittent fasting is certainly a valuable tool. You save time, you increase your intuitiveness, you get in that focused mindset, you develop a lean, hard, muscular, capable, energized physique, and I'm a huge proponent of it, and I will make many videos because I am such a fan, because I want the world to know how awesome it is. Okay? God bless you all. Peace. So the feeding window is now closed, and I'm now going to retire and relax for the remainder of the evening and stimulate my inner magician, as Elliot Hulse would say, by reading a little book here. It's actually a freaking massive book. It's called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. It's a really sweet book. But the point of me saying this is I'm also hanging out with my wife next to me. She's breastfeeding our little baby, so she prefers not to be in the video. But the point is, there's more to life than only working out, guys. And to be successful with your journey to your physical goals, your fitness goals, the way you want to look, the way you want to feel, that all has as much to do with who you are on the inside as it does with the method. Because you know what? Almost any fitness ideology will work if you just practice it. The problem is most people don't have the discipline to practice it with consistency, because that's difficult. That takes a lot of self-control and discipline and self-awareness. And those things, though, can be cultivated in the gym. There are other aspects to the whole human spectrum to just the physical. And that's why I believe it's very important to take time to spend with the people you love. Here I am with my wife, my little baby, my two kids are upstairs sleeping. I got my dogs.
Hi.
You know, it's good. And when you develop yourself as a whole being, then you start to attract those other counterparts, those relationships that are actually meaningful to you into your life. They don't just happen by chance. You don't just get lucky, you attract them. And who you are truly at the core is what you're going to attract. So that's why I recommend. I read about like an hour a day maybe. I read books that are going to empower me. I don't read like fluffy, like pointless, like not that there's anything wrong with any reading material, but there are so many amazingly wise and intelligent experts out there, and you can basically have the experience of sitting and hanging out with them almost in these $10 books from Amazon. You can gain so much wisdom now because there's so much wisdom just waiting for you to read it. That's why I'm a huge fan of reading. And the smarter you are, the sharper you are, the more money you're gonna make, the better quality woman you're going to attract, the more fulfilling life you're gonna have. Okay? So do all these things because they are as important as the intermittent fasting and all the other stuff. So I just wanted to point that out, guys, because you kind of hung out with me this entire day. If you've watched this whole video, I felt it was important to kind of put that point across. So with that, I will close for real this time. Peace, guys. Have a great night. It was a pleasure.